Hello. The media, legacy automakers and oil companies have a long list of why you should not buy an electric vehicle. Now, top of that list is problems with public charging. So I thought I would share my experiences with you of charging when I'm not at home. Hello friends, I'm Nigel, and my wife Jennifer and I enjoy sharing our experiences of driving a Tesla Model 3. I do hope you can like and subscribe, and please leave any comments below. Welcome to new subscribers, as everyone is very welcome. Obviously, the cheapest and easiest way to charge an electric vehicle is at home. A 3-pin plug is ideal and will put about 10 miles an hour into your EV while you're watching TV, eating, sleeping, and it's ideal for most people. But you might want to get a home charger if you do more miles than average. We're lucky in the UK as we have 240 volts. As in Europe and North America, you can only add about 5 miles an hour into your EV in most places. There are many nighttime rates with the electric companies, and charging for as low as 8p a kilowatt hour in the early hours in the morning, as not much electricity is used then. But wind turbines are still turning just as fast. So it means you can charge for as little as a quarter to a tenth the price of petrol or diesel, as I regularly work out the prices. But if you can't charge at home, what do you do? Well, I have a Tesla, so there is a superb Tesla Supercharger network in the UK and Europe, and I've used it a lot in Portugal, Spain, England, Scotland and Wales. But for the last 2 weeks, I'm not at home, but I'm at the very top of Scotland, 100 miles away from the nearest Tesla Supercharger. So what do? Well, at John O'Groats, there's a grid serve. It's very expensive, but I've used it a few times now. And when I say expensive, it's not as expensive as some EV chargers, like some of the fuel companies. But it's more expensive than Tesla, and that's a shame, because a few years ago, there was only a couple of pence in it, and I would often try out the grid serves to see how easy they are to use. But GridServe does take your credit card, and there's no apps or complicated monthly fees or anything stupid like that. So it's nice and simple. Charge Place Scotland are everywhere in Scotland, and a few weeks ago I did have a problem with them. I couldn't take out my own lead in the slower 20p a kilowatt charger. I had to phone and soon got the problem sorted out. But that sort of thing could be frustrating, but because it was only on a slow charge, you're not going to be charging there when you're on a long road trip and need to get going. And if you're in Scotland, I do recommend getting the Charge Place Scotland card. I think it's a must in Scotland, and I'm very much a big fan of them. I do wish England had such as good a scheme as Charge Place Scotland. It needs a cheaper public charging network. Sadly, too many people think they can rip off the English, and regularly do. Now, I've run into recently someone who could only use the slow charger at a motorway services in an older Audi EV that he bought, and he could only charge at a very slow speed and was going on a long way. Told me that he's only put in 20 miles in the last half an hour. He and other people have asked me, how do you get to use the Tesla Superchargers? And the simple answer is buy a Tesla or go to one of the 20 Tesla Superchargers available to the general public, but you do have to sign up and you pay more than the Tesla drivers pay. Another person I saw having problems charging was a brand new Audi on that day, and they couldn't get it charging. I tried but was unable to help them. And I don't know how it was resolved, but he was on the phone a long time. Most anti-EV YouTubers are people not in Teslas, in cars twice the price of a Tesla, like a Porsche, Mercedes and Audi. And if those people I saw were YouTubers, you can bet your life they would have been getting hundreds of thousands of views saying how their EV was a load of rubbish and don't possibly buy one. But I've never had any problems at all with my Tesla charging at Tesla Supercharger. So here I am in Scotland charging at Charge Place Scotland, one of their faster chargers at 38p a kilowatt hour, a similar price to Tesla. If you use your own lead, you can get it even cheaper at 30p a kilowatt hour, and that's not much difference from what most people pay at home for their electricity. If you look around, you can still find some free public chargers. but it's getting less and less as more people get EVs. Only fools sit around while they're charging, as you go off and do something that you need to do. Shopping, going to a cafe, going to the gym, going for a walk, whatever. It's really no different to a motorway, except a Tesla Superchargers are faster. After our shopping was over, the car is charged. It's very simple. There's no drama, no clickbait to say I'm selling my EV because it's rubbish. A recent survey found that Tesla drivers are twice as likely to buy another electric vehicle than some legacy automakers like Ford and Audi, who their owners are more likely to buy a gas car after their EV experience. And that says so much about these automakers making EVs. So if you're thinking of buying an EV but can't charge at home, take a look at the ZapMap app, which tells you where every public charge in the UK close to you is. Also, what about asking work if they'll install chargers, or ask your landlord if they can put in public chargers at the sensible prices? You could also talk to your council or councillors about reasonably priced on-street public charging, because everywhere you look we've got electricity on lampposts, street signs. It's almost everywhere, as well as solar, wind and wave power. Unlike the oil, you have to go down 500 feet and more in the North Sea and extract it at enormous costs, with enormous profits for the oil companies, but a bigger cost to the environment and the planet. Owning an EV is not the solution, but it is part of the solution, and certainly buying a big EV is not going to help anybody. Also, some people with surplus electricity have solar panels, will allow you to park and charge your car at very reasonable prices, and they are also on the ZapMap app, so why not take a look? If you can't charge at home, what about friends, family? Can you park there, give them a bottle of wine or something in return for the electricity that you use? I get lots of comments on my videos, and please add to them. 99% are positive, especially from Tesla owners. A couple of non-Tesla drivers said they're never buying an EV again, and when I asked what EV they had, they never reply. But I've got an idea of what car they were driving. If you're thinking of buying a Tesla, please use my link below, and you and I will both get discounts, so it's worth checking out. Thank you for getting this far, and hope you can subscribe and like. Please leave any comments below. See you next time. Don't forget to use your reusable coffee cup wherever you go, and you can get discounts in most places, and not one of their paper cups that can't be recycled. Take care. Bye. Drive safely.